shacks away, it's my turn to dance. My turn to play. You won't stand a chance.
Hello. How's everyone doing today? We're back. It's been a while.
It has been.
It's been some time. How are we doing? HHN is like 3 weeks in now, right?
Yep, we're on week 3.
We've been gone since HHN started, basically.
Yeah, it's been way too long, but you know.
We made that opening night video, and then, yeah, we've been gone for a while. I was sick for a short while there.
Had such a fun past few weeks.
Yeah. Because, like, we had to get back to our normal jobs and, like, all this other stuff, and, yeah, and then I got sick, and then, yeah, just didn't have time to even do anything. But there is a new video out on the channel today that we made back during opening weekend. It's like an in-park guide throughout the scare zone. It's really short. It's like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But we did a little video. So that's out on the channel. I just posted it about like an hour ago. So if you haven't seen that, it's like 3 minutes. Just check it out. Just basically telling you what the scare zones are if you don't know anything about each channel, or if you haven't been yet. Because I know some people want to go to October. closer to Halloween time, things like that. So yeah, that's on the channel now. But we're back. We've been gone. It's been so quiet on this channel for like the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been really strange.
If you're in the Discord, you already know that I was sick and stuff because I tried to update y'all.
Yeah.
But for those that didn't know, yes, I was out for a little bit. I was bedridden.
Quite literally for about a week.
It wasn't COVID though. Got tested.
It was
Wasn't
not.
COVID. Was not COVID. But it was sick. Whatever it was. Probably from standing in the freaking opening night rain at HHN this year, or hurricane, whatever you want to call it. Probably from that because that was rough. But
definitely. You probably got whatever I had. To be honest.
Yeah, you were sick before HHN, and then I got sick after.
I was sick like the week before, and you were sick like the week after.
But have you guys been yet? Has anyone been to HHN yet? Obviously we have, but I want to know if anyone else has. We're going to be talking about our thoughts on everything thus far into the first month of HHN. Obviously, the event changes throughout. They take notes and add new things throughout, but we're just going to talk about, for the time we've been there, how we're feeling about the houses and the scare zones and stuff. And then that will be what's going on. How's it hanging? What's up, Dreamport? We got to meet Dreamport in the park, if you guys don't know. Posted a picture on my Instagram. Met Zombie Chris, Losh, met Dreamport. It's been fun. We missed Chris Motionless being there.
We're not even going to talk about that. I'm so sad.
Yeah, he was there. If you guys don't know, Chris Motionless and White, the band. He was there.
No, because you can't even just say he was there and we missed him, because we were in line for Blood Moon, and me and him both at the same time look over and then look at each other, and he was like, why does that guy look like Chris Motionless? And I was like, I was about to say the same thing, but I wasn't going to because maybe I'm crazy. And it turned out to be him.
Yeah, it turned out to be him, so that was fun. And we could say hi because we thought we were just staring at some random dude. But yeah.
So strange.
But yeah, did get to meet some creators in the fog, which is always dope, always awesome. But yeah, there is a picture that we took at HHN currently on my Instagram, which is in the description below. What's up, Joey? Heading out next week. Well, enjoy. It is very fun, very crowded this year.
Very.
Which I'll get into that in a little bit, but we will talk about that. Nate, welcome in, buddy.
Hi.
You're here. Are you here? Are you at HHN right now? Are you in Hollywood? I know you've been going a lot. I've seen your stuff.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Haven't been out to Hollywood. Want to go to Hollywood. Can't afford to go to Hollywood.
That
Want to go to
part.
Hollywood though.
Yeah.
I'm hearing Hollywood is better than Orlando this year. I don't know.
I've heard that. I don't really know about that.
I don't know because I haven't been there. But.
Yeah, but
Zombie Chris, welcome in, buddy. What's up, man? It was awesome seeing you in the fog. Hope to see you again this year. Zombie Chris is dope. I wish literally we were recording the video I posted today. The little 3-minute whatever posted today. We were recording at AHHN during opening night. And I guess Chris came up behind me right after we cut the cameras, so we didn't get to get him on camera.
it was so funny.
Which was so sad. But, yeah. It sucks. I wish, I'm at work. Ooh, tough.
That is tough. I'm so sorry.
That's literally been my whole life since I got back from opening weekend.
I'm just glad that we are not in the boat where we have to be at work this late. I could never survive that.
Yeah, like the night shifts. I don't know if... Well, you say you take your lunch later, so you might have a graveyard shift. I don't know what you're
Well, I guess technically it's 5 there, or 6 now, because
Oh, yeah, Hollywood.
3 hours behind.
Duh, California. Different time. I'm dumb.
I just realized that for the first time ever.
Oh, that was what you recorded? Yeah, that's what I was recording, this little 3-minute video we put out today. Alright, can we talk about my mic situation real quick?
Oh,
man, dude, my
God.
mic is crap. If you guys watch the opening video and the one I posted today, it's the same exact microphone. It was recorded during the same weekend. But, yeah, that mic just...
Don't know what
Bad,
happened
bro.
to it.
Well, this is the first time I was trying to use body mics. Normally I just use, obviously, the Blue Yeti I have here in the studio. And I don't really go out into the park or anything because we live, 2 hours away or whatever. So I got body mics and tried them out. And obviously I can't really test them from being in the park and stuff. So I kind of had to just roll with it. They're not the greatest. And then they got rained on, which made them even worse.
Yeah.
So if you hear, like, feedback and stuff inside of those videos, that's what it is. It got to points where I just stopped using the body mics during certain parts in the video. You'll hear different. Yeah. And then I tried to edit it all out. That was crazy. Anyway, but we're not here to talk about my mic issues. We're here to talk about HHN. How is it going so far inside of this opening month, I guess, opening few weeks. So diving straight into that, we can't rank any houses. This is not going to be a house ranking, live stream, or anything like that. Can't rank the houses until like after the event because like they're all going to change throughout the event. But I will say the best ones like visually for when we went, I can talk about, but I will not rank them because there's no way of doing that until the event's over. So sorry if you're expecting that. But standout houses for me during the time we've gone is Dueling Dragons. That's why it's the thumbnail of this video.
Yes.
Dueling Dragons honestly is like the best house to me currently. Dueling Dragons, then we'll say Universal Monsters Unmasked is really good. Blood Moon, surprisingly really good.
That's the one thing I'm hanging over your head for the rest of this year.
Last of Us. Oh my god, I forgot the name. Last of Us is good.
How did you forget that name?
I really don't know. I like brain farted that name.
Good.
What else were really good ones?
Oddfellow?
Oh yeah. Oddfellow was really good. Yes. Darkest Deal was also really good.
Yes.
There was only a few.
We're literally naming all the houses.
There was only like a few that I'm like
kind of missed the mark.
I'll have to go through again because they just didn't hit me right, I guess.
Because I'm genuinely convinced that we are not the biggest fans of the Chucky house because I'm like
the Chucky house. Now that we're saying it,
I'm 99% sure we caught it during cash change because there was like no one in that house.
Yeah, Chucky just hasn't hit the mark for me. I've seen the Hollywood one. Hollywood looks so much better in my opinion, and I'm not even there, but like from the content I have seen of the Hollywood Chucky kill count house, I don't know what's going on in Orlando with that, but Chris said that's the hardest question. Opening weekend, I'm asked all the time, what was your favorite? Yeah, exactly. We're talking about this in the park, me and Chris. There's no way of like actually saying what's gonna be the best house. This is the best house of the year because with Horror Nights, they take notes. Like, you may not realize your little tweet might have some impact on what they're going to do inside the house because they take feedback. So I know there's already new voice lines in some scare zones. I know Blood Moon has completely changed all their voice lines. Like, certain things will change throughout the event. Characters will get more into their role. They get more acclimated in their scare. And then, like, the logistics of everything as far as, like, lines and express and all that kind of stuff, that's going to change throughout the event. That's going to get better. I know, like, during opening weekend, it was really rough with the food lines and everything, and I know Express had some issues on actual opening night. But obviously all that has changed now. I hear there's a lot more flow. Weekends are still tough, is what I hear. But as far if you go, like, on a Wednesday, I'm hearing, like, that's, like, wait times are nothing right now. You zoned out.
Sorry, I was just, like, watching the ceiling, I guess. I don't know what I was looking at.
Originals were fire this year. Yeah, originals are top tier. Man, every year of HHN, the originals, in my opinion, do better than the IPs.
They do, and like going into this year, I don't know what got into me, like putting a lot of the IPs at like the top of my hype list, but I set the bar way too high for myself with those guys.
I mean, Last of Us is really good. Obviously, I've seen the Hollywood version now too, where it's like more Joel and Ellie oriented. I wish we kind of got that more in Orlando, but I know Orlando's is more towards like the clickers and stuff, which they do really well. And I'm not saying Last of Us is a bad house by any means.
No, I love The Last of Us.
Really good house. Chucky, on the other hand, I don't know. It's like a very different, like Last of Us Coast to Coast. It's like, okay, yeah, they have more focus on Joel and Ellie, but our version is also really well done with the clickers and stuff. With Chucky, it's like, well, even Stranger Things. Stranger Things is like, okay, we get more of the moments, I guess, like Master of Puppets and stuff in Orlando, but then Hollywood focuses more on like the final battle with Becky. Yeah. That makes sense. Then you go to Chucky and you're like, okay, Hollywood gets a really flushed out Chucky house that has some great set, use animatronics inside the whole entire house. Really feels like Chucky is literally in the house with you. Orlando is a bunch of TVs and there's like one animatronic Chucky. Not really much of a set.
It's just like
I feel like
Hollywood
I don't know.
Was more of what I expected Chucky kill count to be.
Yeah.
Like there was an actual kill count, like counting up while you went through the house. I don't know if we missed something.
I don't think so. I don't know. I think the mistake they made with the two different Chucky houses is the Hollywood one's obviously in a much bigger area. It's in a soundstage, I think. I don't know. I've never been to Hollywood, but it looks like it's in a much bigger building, soundstage, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Our Chucky house is shoved in the queue of a line, basically. So it's like it's rough. So I don't know. I have to go through Chucky house again in Orlando to really go through Chucky house again in Orlando to really see it again. But I
just want to go through it again because apparently there's a big red button that I can push, and I want to push the button.
Okay, well that's why we're gonna go through it again. Hey, don't F with the Chuck. Yeah. Chuck F with the Orlando house.
Wait, what did you just say? Was that English?
I said Chuck F with the Orlando house.
Oh, okay.
What do you think I said?
I don't know. Like, I wasn't processing. I thought you were like Chuck F. Like, there's someone named Chuck F.
No, I'm not cussing.
Like, Chuck F at the Orlando house. I was like, huh?
This isn't the 4-hour live stream. I'm not cursing it up right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But I don't know. Dueling Dragons, man. I'm gonna talk about Dueling Dragons for a little bit because, like, if you guys have been watching the channel on my hype list, Dueling Dragons was like number 9, 8, something like that. I was not really much excited for it because I didn't ride the ride when I've gone to Universal before. That was before my time. And didn't know the story. I didn't research the queue line video that the story is or whatever.
Yeah.
But then we drove up to HHN and listened to the podcast episode of the Dueling Dragons, and I was like, okay, this sounds cool. And then we actually get inside of the house, and that is like the best house HHN's done in a long time. Like, I don't know why. It's just, like, so well done. Like, the set's amazing. All the costumes are crazy. The character's energy is, like, so much higher than some houses. And it's, like, I don't know. It's really good.
I don't really know what about it got me into because, like you said, never done the ride or anything. Didn't really know the background story. But there was, like, just, like, this, like, feral, like, oh my god, I'm so excited going through it, and I don't know why, and I just made that face, and I feel so crazy. But like,
and then the fact that you can choose your fate, like at the end, is also really good because obviously
my marbles.
when we went through that on opening weekend because we didn't go opening night because wait times. But when we went through Dueling Dragons on opening weekend, obviously we had all the like rumors of like there's 4 different endings. They talked about there's 4 different endings, but I was like, okay, 4 different endings could mean different things. I don't think they're gonna want to split up the line because house ops are really on top of like making lines move and stuff like that, and I felt like a choice would make that like make a traffic jam, I guess. Yeah. In the house, so I was like, okay, I'm thinking more of like less choose your path and more like Legends Collide or Icons Captured, where it was like, okay, there's a different winner. There's your 4 endings. Yeah. But when we got inside the house and we actually got through into that section where there was 2 paths and it says choose thy fate on the front.
Movie, bro.
I was like, oh crap, we're choosing fire.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, it was insane. But yeah, I really got to highlight Dueling Dragons because I was not expecting that to be good. And then talking about not expecting things to be good, Blood Moon is really good. I was so wary of Blood Moon because it's so like good. That front haunted house, and we had that with Hellblock, and like we had Spirits of the Coven the year before. I liked Spirits of the Coven, but I was like Spirits of the Coven wasn't number 1 or nothing like that for me though last year. Yeah. So I was like, okay, we'll go through this Blood Moon one, which is this cult. And again, we listened to the podcast episode on the way up to Orlando. And it was like, okay, the concept's really cool. It's giving me, like, Fear Street vibes, I guess. Like, with, like, the whole Salem Witch thing. And it isn't Salem Witches, but it's, like, kill cult thing. But, so I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm not super excited. It's probably going to be like Spirits of the Coven was. I'll like it, but it's not going to be a standout thing. And then with it being in the place where Hellblock was, which I don't know if it's in the same exact location, but it's like the front haunted house. So like Hellblock didn't hit it for me last year, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be wary about this. And we go into it, and dude, it's good. Like I didn't expect the sets to be that immaculate, like so big, and that's the thing with some of these houses this year is they really utilize big space. Yes. Like Dueling Dragons, Blood Moon.
Specifically in Blood
Universal
Moon?
Monsters, like big spaces in the houses that are actually utilized correctly. I feel like they haven't done that in a while. Maybe I know they did like Dead Man's Spear.
But like specifically in Blood Moon, there was a moment where I was like, I don't really know like if this is on purpose or if it's supposed to be cool, but I thought it was cool. Like one of the little village areas, you're going down the path and you go this way, but there's like the big houses and you can see through them, and then you can see the rest of the set behind the houses, and you could see like people crossing around, like walking through. And I thought it was really cool because you could just see like everybody weaving through, and like I've never actually been able to see that, and like see set behind set behind set.
Yeah.
And then like the moon in the distance. That's what really
Yeah, the
sold it
moon in the
for me.
distance was something I was hoping for. I think we talked about it in our live stream. It was like, I want there to be a moon. I want there to be a lot of like blood and stuff, and it did do that. So I was like, okay, this is good.
Yeah. And just the fact that like I have a habit when I'm in houses of I look up because I'm like, what's gonna be there? And in that house, I felt like when I looked up, I actually saw something every single time I did it.
That's
like,
true.
Most of the time, you look up and it's like, oh, there's this soundstage ceiling. You can see bars and stuff.
So if you haven't been to Blood Moon, I know a lot of us have at this point, but for like people that have not gone to the event yet, if you go through Blood Moon, if you remember last year, the Chupacabra house, seeing things kind of like how you walked into like a city inside of Chupacabra. That's kind of how Blood Moon is. You walk into the village and you see the entire village. It's not like you're just, oh, okay, there's a big cottage here. Okay, there's your facade. No, you walk in and it's like, it's huge. The village is huge. Blood Moon's out there. Then when you get more into the house, obviously they're collecting body parts and all this other kind of stuff. And then you'll see the giant body part thing going to the moon inside of that house. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I'm just listening.
Oh.
I can't lie, I kind of zoned out while you're talking, and then all I heard was giant body part.
Yeah, the giant body part thing going up to the moon and stuff. That's all huge in this house. And I didn't expect it to be like a huge house. I expected like be really confined because I didn't know like exactly where they were building it. And I was like, so I'm thinking it's going to be really confined, like Hellblock and stuff. So I was like, okay, it's going to be really confined. I'm going in this huge like set. And it's in a soundstage, I think. So I didn't think it was going to be a soundstage. I thought it was going to be built in the back of a queue line or something. So I was like, okay, this is really good. Amber's like, I told you. I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
yeah,
Literally,
well.
I'm never going to shut up about it. Because I was like so excited for this house and even shooting it down until we went through it. And you're like, oh, it wasn't that bad. I'm like, don't even say that. It wasn't just not bad. It was good.
Yeah. And then we get to another one where I'm like, dude, that's just why I can't rank them, is Monsters. Monsters is so good, and I knew it was going to be good because Monsters was good every year. I mean, they never missed the mark with that. But Monsters Unmasked is so good, dude.
This was apparently Dreamport's feral energy moment.
I feel you. I was going hard on Monsters too, honestly. I was so excited about Monsters because I love classic Monsters. I remember growing up on like the Monster Mash, so I like Dracula and stuff like that. I know that's not the Universal Monsters
so
version.
excited to see
But, like,
Invisible Man.
And then I grew up watching obviously the old Universal Monster films, so I'm like a big Universal Monsters fan. So I was like super excited to go inside of this house because it's the underutilized monsters. It's Invisible Man, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Phantom of the Opera, Hunchback. Like these are very underutilized monsters that aren't really seen much. Because it's always like Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Wolfman. It's always those three or four mainly. So it's like these are different ones. And so I go into the house and dude, the Phantom. I'll say it right now, Phantom is the best part of that house to me. I know that might be different for you, but like the Phantom, like his whole section is really like the best part of the house. I know there's like a big immaculate area later in the house that is very amazing, but just the way they utilize Phantom inside of this house with like his scares being all like music.
Yeah.
And, like, you're going throughout, and it's, like, all the draped curtains and stuff. I don't know. And he's, like, cutting the faces off and using them as his mask. Like, that's all really cool, dude.
Yeah.
So, like...
And the Phantom actors are, like, absolutely killing it.
Yeah, they are. The energies in monster houses are always so good.
I feel like they know. They have to know that, like, I'm the moment. This is what everybody wants.
But then we get to... who was the next one in the house? Was it...
Is it...
Hunchback's not till later. I don't know who's next. But Jekyll and Hyde's really good. In that whole like extra room where the lady comes out. I think that's the same room where she comes out. She's like, my baby! Yeah, and it's I think it's is a Hunchback at the top? Or is that
On the bell tower?
Is that the same room or is that a different room? I don't remember now.
Oh my gosh,
No, because the big room is Hyde.
The bell tower is just the bell tower.
Yeah. So the big room is Hyde. Which is really good.
Yeah, but the baby lady is where Hyde is.
Yeah, that's Hyde. Okay, that room's really big. Again, saying they're utilizing huge space. That room is really good. And the way then we get into like Invisible Man and stuff, which I don't know if this is the chronological order of the house.
I don't remember.
But Invisible Man is really good.
I was so excited to see him.
I was like,
love
dude,
him.
the lighting they did with him and stuff to make him actually look invisible because his
Yeah.
band-aids glow and stuff. Dude, that's so good. And he's like, "You're my laboratory." And then his little arm coming down. It's so
Yeah.
good, dude. And then yeah, obviously the bell tower,
Yes,
the punchback
that
is really
absolutely
good.
like blew my mind moment. Still have not gotten that scare fully because I know he actually like
Comes down.
comes down
yeah.
a little bit. And every time I'm just walking in there like
It's a little Disney Easter egg inside of the house out there. That's what it is. No,
what
but
they
it's
need
really
to
cool with
do-
like the bungees and him coming down is really
what they
good.
need to do, and they would get me so bad, is either in this house or in Blood Moon when there's one of those moments where they're up there because every single time without fail I'm staring so hard up there that if someone was right in front of me I literally would not know.
I feel like they have done that before. I don't know.
If they have, I don't remember, but like I need it to happen because I just want to be
But
terrified.
yeah, them like the freaking 3-way scare or 4-way scare, whatever it
Yes.
is so good. I walked
It
in there
is.
one time and they're like, as soon as I walked in, it was like boom, 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 whatever it was. I don't know if it was 4 or 3.
The first time we went
But,
there,
like-
you got it and I did not. And
Yeah.
then the second time, I finally got to really see it.
It's so good because
Yes.
they're all like very theatrical in that house.
Yes.
Like Dreamport's saying, it felt so theatrical, especially the Phantoms.
Yeah.
Phantoms felt very theatrical, which makes sense. But like all of them feel like the energy in there is very theatrical, very big, and I think that's partially why I like the house so much because it's
Yeah.
so like energy's so high
Yeah.
compared to other houses.
It's always better in a house when you can feel like that everybody else's energy is up too.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're having a good time, I'm having a good time. It's
And there was one walkthrough we had through it where our line got congested, so we sat literally in front of Phantom for like 5 minutes.
yeah.
And he literally he just kept rocking with it, dude. It was like there was a Phantom, if you know the house. There was the Phantom that was carving the face, and he's like elevated a little bit.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really have much of a scare. He turns around and he'll do that and then go back. Like he doesn't have much of a scare. So like we were just sitting there, the line was congested, and we were standing here for like 5 minutes, and like he just kept going, and he would just like look around and just keep looking.
And there was a group.
And like lean over.
Yeah, and there was a group behind us of like, I don't know if they were younger, if they were like our age, but like a group of girls behind us that were like behind the curtain and they kept like peeking around the curtain, and it was so funny because every single time they peeked around the curtain he would like jump at them and they would all scream, and I'm like, oh no, he's right there.
Yeah.
But it was so funny. It
And
was
then, yeah,
so
the,
amusing.
yeah, the curtain. Yeah, the curtain.
And
was
he would grab the curtain and be like,
yeah, he
peek
just
around.
like
So
no,
funny.
Monsters is really good this year.
It is.
Monsters is so good. Dare I say it's better than last year, honestly. Dare I say? Like, last year was really good. Legends Collide was really good. But, like, the only thing maybe I would say, just because I love Dracula so much, would say, obviously, Monsters Collide had Dracula and, like, the whole, like, Dracula bat into person kind of silhouette was really cool. But, like, I don't know, this year, with Phantom specifically, I don't know why I love Phantom so much in this
I don't
house.
know.
But,
I
like,
think I'm gonna have to die on the Legends Collide hill. I'm not sure.
yeah,
if
you
this
don't
house
remember
is
the
beating
first
it for
Universal
me.
Monsters house.
No, because I blacked out during my first HHN apparently.
But you remember Bride of Frankenstein. That was really good.
it was.
I don't think Bride of Frankenstein was better, though.
No, I don't think that that's better.
What's your guys' favorite Monsters house while we're talking about this? Anyway,
Yeah.
but Bride of Frankenstein, you don't think...
So good, absolutely loved it. Does not beat the ones currently because the ones currently just have like, I don't know, like the vibe that they're going with this last one and this new one, and like, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. It's like the same thing. Like they're both very similar.
Yeah, they
Like
are
we're
similar.
getting like
yeah.
the big scares, the big sets, the multiple monsters. Bride of Frankenstein felt very separate from what they're doing now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like it was more of like its own thing, like it was its own story.
And then the other Universal Monsters house is obviously with a bunch of them. But you don't remember that because I was 29.
Yeah.
But now I don't know what monster I want them to do next, though. Because, like,
Creature.
you want just specifically a creature house?
Only creature.
Okay.
I'm joking.
No, I would like a creature house.
I would like creature in whatever house they do next, but I don't think I ever want them to do with no one else. Like I
Yeah, it
don't
has
want
to
it
be
to
like
be
a team
solely
up
one
kind of
monster.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
I really like it. There's just a lot to look at.
I just don't know who else they would put together.
I don't
Trying
know
to
either.
think.
I'm like they're gonna have to start reusing.
No, there's a bunch of Universal Monsters. I mean, they could put different ones together. They could put, like, Phantom of Drac or something.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
I want more Dracula. That's what I'll say. I want more Dracula just because I like Dracula.
yeah, I want. See, the thing is, like, I want more Bride and Frank. I love Bride and Frank. But also, like, do they scratch the itch like these two houses have?
They could. I mean, if they do it the same way with like Bride and Frank, I feel like that would be good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm missing chat.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna read chat because you've.
Okay, go ahead. Yep.
Tucker said the Hunchback drop scare looks tight. We talked about that, but yes, it is very cool. Chase said he liked the blood moon inside church scene at the end. Yeah, I forgot about that for a second.
What, the church? Oh yeah,
where
the
you
church
walk
is really
through
good.
And everybody's sitting in the pews. I love it. It was so cool. Tucker said they don't have object permanence. LOL. Spent hundreds of dollars to play peekaboo. I mean, honestly, that's what they were doing. It was so funny. The queue walk from The Last of Us to Monsters is the worst. Killed me at the end of the night.
Yeah, The Last of Us specifically, a queue.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah.
I would recommend maybe staying screaming it
Yeah.
in the future if you go again or whatever. Just for the simple fact, yeah, The Last of Us queue is going to be insane. Stranger Things queue is awful, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
The big IPs are going to have crap. But like...
Specifically the walk, though, for The Last of Us.
The
like,
walk
once you get
specifically, yeah, is really bad. I get to smell ET, though.
Yeah, I do like that we're walking through ET. I'm excited for you to come here and go to HHN with us too, Zoe.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
That's my bestie.
The smell of ET, when you get to go in the little AC for like 2 seconds, the smell of
So
ET
good.
is good.
You know, but that's so refreshing after you're like 2 hours in line.
Yeah.
Your whole walk back and you get like 5 seconds of like walking through this nice cold crisp air that smells like chlorine water.
Yeah. And then speaking of
So
Last
good.
of Us, like we were saying, Last of Us is really good. I'm trying to think of something that stood out in that house though.
Oh, I can tell you.
Yeah, tell me.
Joel at the top of the building.
Oh, Joe at the top of the building. Yeah, that was really good.
Shooting while you're walking through.
Oh, the clicker thing where she's like, where it's really quiet, and she's like, "Was that?" And he's like, "It's clickers," obviously with a curse word in front of that.
Joel,
But,
what was that?
Yeah, and then you hear like the thing. Ow.
I love it so much.
She's so excited she just punched me. What was I saying? I just lost my train of thought.
I don't know. I was getting excited.
Oh, the spore part is also really good. Where the spores come down.
And I
Also
love
really good.
that like all these like key moments in the house are associated with like a vocal cue, because before the spores you hear Joel say something about something spores, like you can hear him in the distance like saying what it is, and then the clickers is Ellie being like, Joel, what was that? Like, that's so cool.
Yeah, the only
Like,
thing I can wish for in
appreciate the
Last of Us
immersive.
is just more Joel and Ellie.
I do wish there was more.
Because
Joel and
obviously
Ellie.
this version is more focused on the creatures, like the clickers
Yeah.
and stuff.
Which they did absolutely kill the creatures. Like,
Yeah, but I
the
do wish for
makeup-
more Ellie and Joel.
I do too. Like, specifically how Hollywood has their little opening scene with them.
Yeah.
I love it.
But,
Also, you didn't mention the bloater.
oh yeah, he was really good too.
was.
He was cool. There's not much to say about it, he's cool.
I was gonna say something, but sometimes there's things that I go to say about Horror Nights, and I'm like, people are gonna think I'm absolutely like mentally ill.
Why?
Because I'm like, I saw the bloater and I kind of wanted to just like
Hug him? Because
Yeah.
he's so squishy?
Yeah.
Would Kong work for Universal Monster House?
I think that
You know,
could
that'd be
potential.
interesting. That'd be interesting to see how they would utilize that with him being huge. But I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
I mean,
it could
think
work.
about the Yetis.
Kong's way bigger than a Yeti.
Well, yeah, but like they make those people huge
That's
already.
no, Kong's like skyscraper tall.
Okay, well maybe they can build a tiny set and then he'll look really big.
I was thinking maybe they'll use more like maybe like a big arm or
Yeah.
something.
Or even like how, Hello? The Dragon House?
Yeah, they're big like that. That's what I'm
What is
talking
it?
about.
Dueling Dragons. Yeah, how like, well more so like, the dragons are only in there that one time, because that's the one
Yeah.
moment that they're really big, and the rest is like their minions and stuff. So like, they could just put Kong in there like one time, and the rest is like
I mean, yeah, they could.
more
But,
simple ways to interpret him into the house.
but they could build like a big Kong or something that you see in the distance or
Mhm.
something. I feel like they could do something cool with that.
I feel like I look so short today.
Because you're not sitting on your legs like you usually do. But like you do, like every stream.
Yeah.
Trying to think of more houses. They're really good.
How about we just go and we'll talk about all the houses one by one, okay? We talked about Blood.
Oddfellow. I'm talking about Oddfellow.
Yes.
Oddfellow, fantastic. Oddfellow, I would love him until the day he died. Just in general, Oddfellow.
Yes. That house.
Everyone knows I'm a fanboy of Oddfellow. I'm not
Yes.
even going to specifically talk about the house here. Just seeing Oddfellow is awesome.
I'll talk about the house then.
No, the house is really cool. Obviously,
It is.
Oddfellow is amazing, but Jack is my favorite icon. So seeing the like obviously the Easter eggs of Jack inside of the house of the Oddfellow house is really good. But even just more than the Jack parts, the energy again in that house is way higher, with the clowns and like the whatever else is in there.
Yeah, but like to me, one thing that I really appreciated about the Oddfellow stuff is, I don't know if it's the same for everybody else, because this is just like a personal opinion, but I really appreciate that like we're able to have these like Jack Easter eggs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But Oddfellow has held his own so well that going through that house, I almost forgot to even think about like Jack Easter eggs, because
Oh, I did not.
like Oddfellow just like is standing out so much to me. Did he just say Oddfellow has Riz? Because I agree.
What?
I confirm the Oddfellow Riz is immaculate. It is.
Yeah, Oddfellow be raising people up in the scare zone.
But I don't know. I just really appreciate that like Oddfellow's really having his moment.
Yeah, no. I will have wished forever that they marketed him
Oh yeah.
in like a commercial or something. I will forever say that. You will hear me say it next year. If we have another icon, I'll be like, hope I don't get the Oddfellow treatment. And when I say that, that's going to be in the marketing side of things.
Yeah.
But his presence in the park is really good. All different iterations of him, which we're going more than just the house, I guess, now. But obviously the main iteration of him and his scare zone, with the hot mic coming down and talking to people, judging him on their zodiac signs.
I love
Like,
it.
that's all really good. Dude walks around with swag constantly.
He
Dude's got like a
does.
crip walk going on. Dude's a gangster. Like,
He just walks around like he knows.
but yeah, no, his presence in there is amazing. Then you get to Vamp 69 with the
Earl
Erlo Wolf, yeah, character, which if you don't know who that is the one with the afro.
Scar on the face.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
I tried to get so many
remastered
shots of him
jacket.
during opening weekend, but I could not. He was just
He was
moving too
zooming.
much. Yeah. But yeah, obviously his presence is really good in that scare zone. Then you get to Shipyard. Why are you pushing me
Because your
away?
chair keeps moving further.
Because
and
you're
further.
moving. You're not sitting normal in your chair.
Oh, I'm
Anyways,
so sorry.
Shipyard. Jeez. Shipyard. He's by the truck. We only saw him once so far. I feel like he hasn't come out much, but or maybe we just haven't seen him much. But he's by the truck. He's not as much, I guess, prevalent in that zone as he is in the other ones, but he's still there. And then you get to Jungle Doom, where he gets his skull or whatever, and they added just new voice lines for him.
They did.
Which is awesome. But he's really present in that zone too. So literally, the way they're using Oddfellow is really good. Way better than they ever used Pumpkin Lord last year. So I'm so excited about that. I just wish we
Definitely.
could have gotten like some sort of promo or something
Yeah.
with him.
But I'm glad
But-
that like he's on the merge and he's a little more
Yeah.
thoroughly used. It's just it is sad not having a promo to like look back on one day.
But speaking of his house though, the facade is freaking great, dude. Literally before you even get inside the house. The facade.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
You keep zoning out, girl.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
So is he the Wolfman though in Shipyard? I don't know. I've heard that he is the Wolfman, but then I saw
That's-
literally a character with like overalls, and a scar on his face by the truck. So
Oh, okay. I never saw that guy. I thought you were talking about the wolf guy because I've seen that people
Oh,
are posting
no.
the wolf guy and he's got.
I have seen the
tags
Wolf
and
guy too, but no.
scarification.
When we went through opening weekend, there was a character, but I haven't seen him since. I seen him once. He was by the truck and he had like overalls on, and a scar on his face, and he had like a wrench or something.
Interesting.
That was standing next to the truck. So I don't know, but then people are saying the Wolfman as well. So I have
Yeah.
no clue.
That was the only thing that I've seen about it because people were talking about how he does have like the visible like scarification on his face.
Yeah, so maybe
But-
that's just a different character in the zone that I seen by the truck that has a scar on his face.
That's true. They can't be putting scars on people's faces
Yeah,
like that when we're looking for them.
Anyways, but yeah, speaking of his house, yeah, the facade is fantastic.
It is.
The
The
fact you get to go into his caravan at the end
Yes.
and be inside of that,
I just hurt my foot. just
being
thinking about
inside of that is fantastic. But yeah, that house I have no complaints with whatsoever. And then the other Spunktown house, the Darkest Deals, also fantastic. The only gripe I've ever had with it, which I have to go through it again, but like the only gripe I ever had with it was that it was short.
I did feel like it was
Compared
a
to
very
the
short
Oddfellow house, I mean, it's the same amount of space. I lost my train of thought again. Yeah, same amount of space, but Darker Steel feels a little shorter than Oddfellow to me. But Darker Steel is really good though.
Yes, I did really, really like it.
There's no complaints about it. I mean, it's just
Literally,
standing
the
outside
only
the
complaint is
when we
that
went
I want
through.
more.
Yeah, when we went through Last of Us, we walked by on opening night when we went to Last of Us. Before we even went to any other house, we stayed and screamed for Last of Us, and we walked by Darkest Steel, and you just heard like the echo singing and stuff, and that made me so hyped for that house when we walked by it.
Just hearing that little music trickling out the door.
Yeah,
and like the blue light.
Yeah, his pine straw, I guess, is voice echoing. But then we went inside the house, and dude, the house is fantastic. Fantastic.
But there is corn. That was where the real corn was.
That is where the corn was. That's probably what caused hurricanes to happen. But that is a fantastic house. Then we get to what's another house? Exorcist is really good.
Exorcist pleasantly surprised me.
Yeah, pleasantly surprised about the Exorcist, just for the fact I was not excited for it. I'm gonna be honest, I was not excited for it at all. I was like, okay, I haven't seen this movie. I like the original Exorcist house back in HHN 26. I was like, dude, that house was good. Everyone else hates that house, but I was like, that house was good to me. But I know in Hollywood they get Exorcist every year. But so I was like, okay, I haven't seen this movie. I do like the original, the HHN 26 house, fantastic house. But I don't know this movie. I don't know. And so I went into it. It's actually really good.
Yeah, I was even honestly, to me, it felt like I was going into, because it's not a movie that's out yet, it almost felt like I could have been going into an original house.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, when I went in, because it didn't feel like a movie or anything, it felt like I kind of just experienced it as if it were an original house. And it was still fun. It was very spooky, good scares. Their big heads terrify me.
Their big heads?
Not actually, terrify me, but they do make me a
little
little
uncomfy. They do have big foreheads. I never thought about that. They do get a big forehead on them.
Yeah.
I don't know if that movie they do too. Maybe, I don't know. I guess they'll have big foreheads, but
well, in the movie they do have their hairlines
Oh, do their hairline? Well, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. Obviously.
Well, the trailer.
But and then obviously the demon character. I guess I don't know what it is because obviously I haven't seen the movie. The demon character's cool and creepy.
Yeah. It was a good house.
Yeah, no, it is a good house.
As if it were an original, I feel like I should go in again thinking of it that way.
Then we get to what other house is there?
Well, you keep asking and then you keep going oh, this house. You know what house you haven't talked about?
What?
You should have talked about by now? Yeti.
Oh yeah, Yeti. Dude, I forgot about Yeti. Yeti's great. Yeti's fantastic. I told you guys it would be fantastic. If you don't believe me, go in Yeti because it's great. They literally reused the scare from HHN 29, which is fantastic. Yeah, and then they eat a little baby Yeti that's dead on the ground. And then obviously
is my favorite one in the whole house.
The goat of the house is the HHN bear is inside of that house. Spoiler alert, HHN bear's in that house, dude.
Yeah. No, but literally, honestly, it is such a camp house. Not literally a camp, but it's camp. But seeing the baby Yeti and hearing the guy be like, I got him, and then he gets ripped away. Yeti, that is so...
I told you Yeti would be good. What did I say? That was my number 2 most hyped house. What did I say? Yeti was fantastic. That's my one. I could be told you. You saying that the Blood Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeti.
But I never said it wasn't going to be good. I just said that I wasn't going to enjoy it as much. Which, really, I did like the house, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I did others.
And then,
oh my gosh, the lady that comes out of the trailer with her curlers in, too.
Yeah, that's good, too. Yeah, literally, like I was saying, when going up to this speculation season and then into the announcement season, when we got Yeti, I was like, Yeti better be outside. Mm-hmm. I better see that freaking tower, and it's gonna be amazing. And exactly what I said happened. You were outside. There was trailers and stuff. You could see the Ranger Tower. They had the Yetis, and they had the scare from HHN 29, and then they threw HHN Bear in there. You're telling me this is not the best house of the event?
There is also specifically the moment where you, look out, and it's, the water on the ground, and then there's a dead person in the water, and it just looks like huge-ass trees. That blew my mind. It was tripping me out.
Speaking of chanting Bear Dreamport, I did chant Bear inside of that house because we were standing outside with the queue when we first went into the house for the first time, and I saw. Did we see HHN Bear then? Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw I was like,
Because
it's the bear. It's the bear.
literally, no, because what happened is all the actors did a cast change, and we saw all the Yetis go in and all the people go in. And we're like, okay. And then out of nowhere, you just see this giant little bear head over the fence going do 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 do. And then he walked in by himself, and he was like walking through, like hyping himself up, and it was so funny.
But yeah, and like we got to his portion of the house, and I started going, HHN Bear, HHN Bear. I was like chanting it in the house,
was
and the
so
actor was like,
Yeah. You know that actor loves that.
Oh man, no, it was good.
Let's see. What else was I trying to say?
I
I feel like it's moving and we keep forgetting to look.
Yeah, the guy in the jumper over. Okay, so you have seen the man in the jumper overall, so I'm not insane. It's
Okay.
very odd in that zone. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, okay, so I'm not crazy. What have I missed the past couple weeks? Nothing. We've been gone.
You haven't gone. You just missed us being sick.
The music is haunting. I'm guessing you mean Darkest Steel. Yes, it is. Darkest Steel, so great, perfect sets and intense scares. Yeah, Darkest Steel, like, I want to say it's like super scary to me, but I'm kind of desensitized to this stuff at this point.
That's how I
Because
feel.
I've worked at a haunt, I've worked at HHN, I've gone through haunted houses forever. I love horror movies, so that kind of stuff doesn't really get to me anymore. But I would say Darkest Steel, if you come in and you kind of do get scared from jump scares, are scared by like an atmosphere, Darkest Steel might be one of the scariest houses.
I was gonna say, if you get, like Zoe was saying, she gets scared easily. I would definitely, one for me that I think if I were like a really sensitive person would be Blood Moon. Because there's a lot of moments in there where you're not really expecting someone to be there, and they are.
Yeah.
But that, or Monsters.
Monsters, yeah.
Monsters has a couple
I
of
would say
ones.
specifically in Monsters Hide might get you.
Yeah.
Phantom, I feel like
Phantom's kind of like already there.
Phantom is so theatric that I feel like he can't scare. Because like when he comes out, it's like, da-na! So it's like,
But
that's
then
not
there
really
was the
scary.
people behind us that were like
Yeah, but
bloody
then,
murder
guess.
screaming. over
But like
things
Hyde,
that
I
were-
feel like is the actual like his like costume and everything is
Yeah.
I guess the scariest out of all of
And
them.
he was one of the
And he's
few
big.
who's actually like coming out of a dark corner.
Yeah, like for example, that big room, he comes out and he's like slides out basically. Like
Yeah.
that could, I could see get someone.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. Exorcist, only thing I didn't like was the scare actors' costumes. I don't know why. Is it the big foreheads? I'm gonna guess it's the big foreheads.
Probably.
Unless you're talking about like the devil thing, which I liked how that looked. Watched Pope's Exorcism the other day. I have not seen that. What do you think? Oh, okay. So there's a question about it. What do you think the scariest house was? Okay, so I'm gonna try to think what actually got me this year. Like what actually made me jump. Last of Us made me jump, but I think that's because that was my first house going back to HHN for the first time this year. So like the first clicker got me. Like it actually made me jump. Can't think of when else I jumped.
I'm trying
from.
to think because I know there was one specific time that I remember, but what I always do that I get myself with is I know someone's there and I'm like making eye contact with them and then I'm watching, I'm like, oh, they're not coming at me, and then I go to look away and they're like, eh, and then that's what gets me. So I don't remember.
Someone
where.
got in your face somewhere in one of the houses. I remember they specifically got you, but I don't remember
I
what
don't
house
remember
that
what
was.
house it was either.
I
Because
don't
they
know.
were like, they got up in my face. And I remember it happening because that stuff always makes me so excited. I'm like, yes.
Oh, yeah, Blood Moon's probably a good one, and that was scary. I didn't
Yeah.
jump in Blood Moon, but again, I'm desensitized, so you
I'd
can't
say,
base
I
it
didn't
off
really
of
get
me.
any jump scares in Blood Moon, but specifically, like, certain rooms in there gave me that, like, something's gonna happen feeling. Like, the church. Like, if you're a person that gets scared easy and you walk into that
Yeah.
church, you're gonna poop your pants.
The church, they used a lot of, like, the element of a lot of things are static props, and there's one real thing, or there's a couple real things in a few houses. They did that, I believe they started doing that in Halloween last year. I haven't seen, no, they did that in Us as well.
They did it in the weekend.
And they did it in Weekend. But I'm thinking, like, when they first started doing it, first iteration I can think of is Us. But,
What house this year has the, like, last room with all the people in it? Was it
Uh,
Blood Moon?
I think Blood Moon.
There's
I know
two
in
houses.
the church they had it in Blood Moon. Like there was people sitting in the pews.
Yeah, well, I know there's one house that
think.
has the very, like the weekend vibe where it's a bunch
Was
of
it
them next to
Monsters?
each other. I can't remember.
I don't
Yes,
know.
because it's a bunch of invisible men.
Yeah, that's what it is. There's another one though. I feel like there's another one.
I'm pretty sure it's Blood Moon.
Is it Blood Moon?
Maybe? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe someone in the chat can tell
Um,
us.
But yeah, I would say Blood Moon. Stranger Things, no.
No.
Exorcist, maybe if you're scared of like demonic things.
I have heard a lot of people saying that Exorcist gets them pretty good.
Then I would say Exorcist.
Dueling Dragons, not really.
Dueling Dragons, not really. Yeti, not really. I would say more like yeah, like Blood Moon, Darkest Deal, maybe Last of Us, maybe, just because that's the only one that made me jump.
Yeah.
But yeah, Monsters Hide might, but anyways. Yeti is my least hype, even though they all look good. Yeti is fantastic. Do not hate on Yeti until you go through. Don't knock it till you try it, because Yeti is fantastic. I'm telling you right now. If you go through Chucky and you go through Yeti afterwards, you're gonna be like, wow, Yeti is the best house.
Yeti is like the fun house for the year, though. Like,
Yeah.
I was sleeping on it, and I kind of regret it.
Yeah, Yeti is. If you appreciate like big sets, if you appreciate like set design and stuff, if you go to HHN and you appreciate like you do the unmasking tours and stuff like that, you appreciate set design, you will really like Yeti, because Yeti isn't a massive set. It feels like you're outside. So the fact that they can accomplish that when you're inside of a building is really good.
Yeah.
And then not only that, is the scares are really well done, and obviously there's the campiness to it as well.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say bad about the Yeti house is like the description of it was that it was set in the 1950s, and I didn't get that in my house. I didn't get that it was set in the 1950s.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't pick that up either.
So that's the only thing I would say. Like, that's not really portrayed. But I mean, again, you're outside.
I would say
really
you are just
portray
kind
it.
of in the middle of the woods. And the only like building is a little trailer, like camper. So.
I heard Darkest Deal had the best scares. The actors are ruthless. Yeah, Darkest Deal has really good scares. The whole collector, which is really the devil, honestly, without saying the devil, is really well done. The fact that you can see the deal happen, and then I noticed they use a lot of like lights on chests this year for some reason in a lot of the houses. But you'll see like Pine Straw will get his soul taken away, and you'll see it happen on his chest, which is really cool. But they do use that on the houses this year. A lot of like lit up chests.
Maybe that like started with the Mummy, because the Mummy had the light up chest.
Yeah. Let's see. I love watching you guys. You guys are so entertaining. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's my mom in the chat, guys.
I was gonna say that's your mom.
Hi. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Thank you for saying that, though. Also, Blood Moon used the loud noise bang technique where they bang the wooden windows. No other house did, I think.
That is true.
Yeah, that is also true.
Because that did catch me off guard. I do think that might have been one of the moments where I was like, oh, because I was not expecting that.
Yeah. No, that is really good. Yeah, Blood Moon had the row of like 10 people. Okay. So,
I knew
yeah.
it. I knew it.
Here you go. Or 3 or so. And 3 or so move. Yeah, so that is Blood Moon. Okay. Gotcha. I'm gonna run through the aggression grows as you go deeper inside the Darkest Deal. By the end, they get up right in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, Darkest Deal, like, even though it felt like a short house to me, it felt like a very intense house. Like, it felt like everyone knew their scare already, everyone knew what to do, and they really brought it.
And it definitely is.
During opening weekend, I mean.
Like he said, a like growing thing. Like you go in and it's like a good vibe, and by the time you're at the end, you're like, dang.
Yeah, I feel like once you go, like, first time you go in, you're like, okay, he's selling his soul. Obviously, creepy. But then you're gonna go into it, and it's like, okay, he's playing music and stuff, and you're just chilling. And the more you get into it, the more, like, you'll see, like, obviously the collector go from a normal human to, like, a monster kind of face and stuff. And then, obviously, you'll see his soul get taken away and things like that. It's really good. Collector isn't Oddfellow. See, it was implied in the podcast that was supposed to be him. Yeah, he did the whistle and everything. Wasn't that one of our... wasn't that someone's theory that the Collector was actually... Was that you?
Yeah, well, because in the podcast, it's very much implied that Oddfellow was the Collector.
But never actually said, though.
I'm just saying, there's not really any way
The
to
way
know.
I see it, it could be Oddfellow. Obviously, it
The way
could
I
be.
see it...
But the way the character
it
looks
is.
and stuff, it doesn't feel like it could be Oddfellow to me. And then obviously when it becomes the monster, it's like, okay, this is the devil.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's a horned monster. He kind of looks kind of like a dragon, honestly. But like when it becomes that monster, it's like, okay, why would Oddfellow become this
But
monster?
then I remember going, was it in the house or in the podcast, hearing the voice of the Collector, and we were like,
Yeah,
That
if you
is
do
his
listen,
voice.
that is true. If you do listen to the podcast, you Discover Universal podcast about the Darkest Deal, the Collector does sound just like Oddfellow. That is true.
I agree with Tucker, the whistle is proof enough.
Yeah, that's true.
And then
Maybe he is. Honestly, I
I'm
have no idea.
convinced that it's supposed to be, like, maybe it's just not as, like, obvious with, like, the face and everything. But is that house pre-Jack?
That house?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Because technically if that house is pre-Jack, then...
I have no idea. I mean, it's set. I don't know the time period. What I'm sure you guys have been asked before, but what's your favorite type / sub / theme genre of horror?
all
choice.
of it. I don't know. What is Saw classified
Body
as?
horror.
Body horror? Yeah, that's like my favorite.
Gross. Mine's slashers.
I do like a good slasher.
Slashers are good. I like slashers.
I like body horror.
It's kind of
though.
basic, but like slashers or like a psychological horror is really good.
Psychological's really good.
No, you don't. You
I
don't like
know.
psychological horrors.
Not,
they're
not
boring.
The Shining.
You think
Don't even get me
psychological
started.
horrors are boring?
No, some of it's good. I just don't like The Shining, and you hang that over me. But, yeah, I guess I'll
There
just
is
go
a
with
Dueling
body.
Dragons connection to Oddfellow.
Yeah, and his little symbols are in the book.
That's what I'm saying. That's what.
Oh,
So.
sorry.
Anyways, now that we talked about amazing houses, I feel like I got all the amazing ones done, right?
I think we talked about everything except for Chucky.
And Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Chucky, again, I have to go through it again because like when we went through, I just was not feeling it, dude.
Really want to put Chucky not feeling good, like being on when we went through it. Maybe. Because I want Chucky to be good so bad.
Maybe. But we've talked about that enough. If you watched our opening night video, we talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
Stranger Things, though. What is going on in that house?
I was so sad on...
Like, I won't lie. There's some great parts of that house. But there are some really not great parts of that house as well.
Well, like I said, I think in our video that we did, like, right after we got back, I feel like the anticipation of the bigger moments in that house, like Max being in Vecna's dreamscape or whatever it's called, mindscape, like Max being there, and then the Eddie being on the trailer, like those are the moments that we were all anticipating, and those are the moments that fell flat for me. Like everything else in the house, like the entry, like being Eddie's trailer, and like seeing Eddie run out, and Chrissy like on the ceiling, and like the progression there, like all that was so cool that I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like this next moment, like once we get to the mindscape and we're with Max and we're running through, like that's gonna be so good. And it was like the trailer is gonna be so good when Eddie and Dustin are up there because it started out so good. But I feel like just like the over anticipation and excitement killed it for me. Like it fell flat.
I don't know, man. Stranger Things, like I'll say this: Stranger Things set is great. Set is amazing. Obviously, it makes you feel like you're inside of the show. I'll say that. Actors, they do amazing. All the Vecnas, all the Eddies, all the Lucases, Maxes, Steve, Robin. The Robin in the house that we seen cast looks exactly like Robin.
The Robin and the Dustin in there, I was like...
Yeah, the Dustin.
Is this the real actors?
Like, all that is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, like, the energy is great inside of the house. But, like, it's just, like... The utilization of, if you're going to put these big moments inside of the house, utilizing them poorly like that is weird. Like, for example, okay, you go inside of the Mindscape, very well known for the Running Up That Hill song, right? That's the whole thing. That's why it was trending on TikTok for like 6 months. And then you have, obviously, it's playing in stores. Like, Running Up That Hill was huge.
Yeah.
And the whole main part of that scene is you're watching the episode 4 of Stranger Things Season 4. And you're seeing Max run in that mindscape, and you're fearing for Max's life. You're like, oh my god, is Max gonna get out?
Yeah.
And it makes you feel something. That's why everyone loved that scene so much. And then, of course, that brought up Running Up That Hill, used throughout the season, and so much, using music throughout the season to escape from Vecna, essentially. And when you put that moment inside the house, why is Max not in that room? Maybe it's because when we went through, she was not in there. Maybe I have not gone through again. I've gone through once.
Well, then we'll ask. Has anybody seen Max in that room specifically?
Is Max in the Mindscape room? Not on the projected wall. We know that the projection is on the wall.
Never mind. I'm about to say a bad word.
But, like, the actual, like, is there an actual character of Max in there? Because I have not seen her inside of that specific... I've seen her in the house. I mean, that specific portion. Is she in there?
Yeah.
Because I did not see her. I only seen Vecna in there. And then, again, talking about the music, Running Up That Hill, yes, it's in that portion. But it's so very muffled, very quiet, and it's just overpowered by the noise of the mindscape itself, like the wet noises, I guess. Okay, so she's not in there.
Squelching noises.
Squelching noises, yes. Very overpowered by that in that room. Like, what?
Yeah, and it was like, to me, like when we walked in the room, like I heard the faint running up that hill, and I fully expected, like for those of y'all that have been in the house, you know that like you go into the mindscape, there's like a curve and it comes around and you're like moving on to the next part of the house. I fully expected like the mindscape to continue a little bit longer than it did, and like you'd get closer and closer to the projection. and the music would get louder or something because it was so quiet. Like, I really thought we were gonna get a little more bang there, but
Yeah, that was just crap. I'm not gonna lie, that part of the house is crap. No hate to the Vecna actors in there, because they can obviously
No.
scare as Vecna, but the actual usage of the song and no Max in the Max scene
yeah.
is crap. Then we're gonna get to the other main thing, which is Master of Puppets. What is going on in there, too?
Yeah. Every time that, like, we've only been to that house the one time, but I've seen some videos of inside that house and everything, too. I feel like it's so awkward that, like, Dustin, he's ready to go. He's got his spear, he's got his shield, like, he's fully prepared. But Eddie's just, like, kind of chilling up there.
Yeah, he's
He
just
got
chilling.
nothing. He don't have his guitar. He
That's the
doesn't
main
have a
thing I'm going
weapon.
to talk about. He doesn't have his guitar,
walking.
and Master of Puppets is playing, yet Eddie doesn't hold his guitar.
Yeah.
Maybe, again, this is in our walkthrough, but, like,
I have not seen a single video, walkthrough, anything. with
why
him
is
holding
Eddie
guitar.
not holding his guitar, first of all? Second of all, why are they not elevated whatsoever? They're on a little tiny platform.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on there? Why are they not on a trailer? Like, maybe it's safety issues, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. But, like, you could do a little better there. And then the fact that there's no set besides that. There's
It's
no
just,
set.
like, the
It's just a
big black
platform
box
with
and
the
then
stuff on top of the
projectors.
platform. You see his guitar in the back. And then you have Eddie and Dustin standing there. But then, besides that platform, there's no set. It's just a big projection of the red lightning around them. That's
And then,
it.
I don't know if I'm, like, not remembering, but did they even have any, like, voice lines in that part? Or was it
No.
solely just Master
I think it was
Puppets
just
playing?
Master of Puppets playing.
See, that part gets me, too. Like, if you're not gonna have them, like, actively playing the music, like, maybe you could give them, like...
And, like, I feel like, okay, if you're gonna
something to do.
start that scene, right? Like, maybe this is nitpicking, but, like, if you're gonna have the Master of Puppets scene, don't do it for 2 seconds, right? You're gonna do the Master of Puppets scene, have Eddie on the platform, I guess, with Dustin doing the thing, and then when you walk into the other parts of the house, like the rooms after, maybe a couple rooms after, have Master of Puppets playing in those houses too, because if you remember in the show, it wasn't just him on the trailer when that was playing. There was, like, Max
Yeah.
was running from Vecna and stuff during that.
Mhm.
I believe, like, Erica was getting beat up by, like, Jason and stuff.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
that's going on.
and Lucas was fighting Jason and stuff in that scene. It was all, like, Master of Puppets playing. But it was literally as soon as you get out of that one little area of Master of Puppets, Master of Puppets is gone. Like, that's it. And then you just see, I don't know if it's even after that, you see Eddie get the bat on him, I guess.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Okay, so there is some voice lines, Dreamport says.
Gotcha. He also said, I wish I had a whole sound stage for this one. I think.
Why are we the size of the trailer? Yeah, you're right. Why are
That's
we
what
why are
got
we
me.
humongous? This is actually our King Kong part inside of this house that we were talking about earlier. This is how you
That's funny.
incorporate Kong.
I'm
You just
gonna
make yourself the size of
refill my drink
cars.
real quick.
But yeah, I don't know what's going on in that house. But I will talk about the things that were great in the house because I still want to keep it a little positive because it's better. I will say it's better than 2019 Stranger Things house. I'll say that because they were actually able to just focus on season 4 in this house rather than combining 2 seasons and then just sticking static mannequins throughout that. HHN's 29 Stranger Things house is not any way better than this one. Now I will say 2018 Stranger Things house is better than this one. I will say that. But I will go on some positives. I really liked the incorporation of Henry. Obviously Vecna before he was Vecna, when he's just the Jamie Campbell Jamie, oh my god, I can't say his name. Jamie Bauer, I think it's his actor's name that plays Henry and Vecna. But him before Vecna was fantastic. I loved all of that. Like him coming out and his voice lines, you being inside of like him and Eleven fighting, Eleven pushing him back against the wall, and then you have that light up chest thing again. Like that was really good. I really liked that part of the house. One thing I did not like about the house is there was no incorporation on no incorporation of Hopper and Joyce in that house whatsoever, or Murray, which are huge parts of season 4. And then the incorporation of only like 2 Demogorgons, 1 Demogorgon inside of the house, when that was a big part of season 4 as well. So I don't know.
Did you see that? They said they went on an unmasking tour and they said that he couldn't have a guitar unless he could play it live.
Really? Why? Just have a fake guitar. Don't put strings on it.
Probably a Netflix rule.
Oh, really? It has to be a Net. Oh, yeah, it is a Netflix house. They are a little sticklers about that.
I
That's
wonder-
weird, though.
Remember when, like, very beginning of speculation season, didn't they send out like a casting call asking for people that could play guitar?
I have no idea. I don't remember.
I feel like I remember that, so it makes sense.
That's weird though.
It is.
Netflix, if that's a Netflix thing, like Netflix is like he can't have the guitar, then that's dumb. I'm sorry.
They were like Joseph
Just fake
Quinn
it.
learned
Fake it. Wow, air guitar. Just with the guitar in your hand.
Especially because it's such like a small, quick moment.
Yeah, it's like 5 seconds.
And who's gonna be able to play the guitar for 45 minutes straight?
Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like if they couldn't do it right, they shouldn't have incorporated the scene, in my opinion. But Stranger Things is a house that exists at HHN this year, so that's that.
They said maybe a Metallica stipulation.
Oh, maybe. I honestly have no
I don't
idea.
know. I'm more like, I feel like I would believe more so that Netflix would be that kind of like.
But for example, I watched the Hollywood walkthrough. Hollywood's house is better. You're gonna get the Creo house in Hollywood. So if you're going to HHN Hollywood, Stranger Things is amazing there. You don't have these scenes. You don't have the Max scene, I don't think. And I don't think they have Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
So you won't have those scenes. But the Hollywood house is about the fight against Vecna, like the final fight, and it actually happens in chronological order in that house, unlike ours where it's like random stuff throughout the house, just scenes. But Hollywood's is in chronological order, so then you'll get like them holding like the bug lights inside of
I was like,
the
where
Creo
are they
house.
drinking
You get the
beer?
actual Creo house in there. Yeah, that house. From what I've seen on the walkthrough, it looks better, and Last of Us, like Tucker is saying, is also
definitely
better.
a little stronger.
It's stronger.
I feel like the Hollywood houses for Stranger Things and Last of Us are more like fan service.
Yeah.
Like, they're kind of more appealing to, like, if you're going specifically because you love those shows or love that game.
Yeah, true. Is that all the houses?
We did Stranger Things, we talked about Last of Us, we talked about The Exorcist, Darkest Deal, Dueling Dragons, Chucky, Blood Moon, Yeti. What else are we talking about? Brain Fart.
I have no idea what you.
Oddfellow.
Stranger Things.
I already said Stranger Things. Are we missing a house? I know I just counted 9. Let me just go in order. Blood Moon, Exorcist, Dueling Dragons and Yeti,
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, and then
Chucky.
Oddfellow and Chucky, and The Last of Us, and
Darkest Deal.
Monsters, and The Darkest Deal. Yeah, we talked
Okay,
about
we talked about all those. Okay, so scare zones.
My favorite part.
There's no bad scare zone this year.
Absolutely not.
I know a lot of people are always weary about the big opening, like the big scare zone in the front usually.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously just like a show off of what's in the zones. But this one's really good because it actually connects to Dark Zodiac. The way they have it set up, you go into the front, you go into the side by the Universe store, and go straight into Dark Zodiac, and it's all kind of connected. So that is like one giant scare zone, Dark Zodiac and Oddfellow together, and those are amazing scare zones. Dark Zodiac's really pretty.
Don't even get me started on Dark Zodiac. I could just sit here and talk about it all day.
Dark Zodiac is really pretty. And then obviously Oddfellow in general, his caravan where he walks around and has that swag when he walks and talks to people with the hot mic and all that. Really good. Then we get to what's after Hollywood? Jungle Doom. Jungle Doom's after Hollywood, right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep. You go from Dark Zodiac into Jungle of Doom.
Yeah. Okay, so Jungle Doom.
Surprising
Really good.
one for me this year.
When I saw it getting super decorated, I was like, this is going to be an amazing scare zone. And I was right. The whole thing with where the characters freeze when he picks up the crystal skull thing, and then they come back to life after the big sound effect happens. Really cool. And then the lights in the trees, and Jungle Doom's really good. Then we get into Shipyard 32. I would say Shipyard, I guess, maybe would be the weakest so far. Maybe I wouldn't even say that though, because it's so good too.
There's a lot of little unique moments.
I like having the past characters of HHN used right in this scare zone, unlike how they were in Hellblock. Like having to see the Tooth Fairy back and that bat creature.
Patricia.
Oh, is that her name? Patricia? Yes. Bat-Tricia. And then having Scolders, which fun fact is one of the people I played when I worked at HHN, and so I seen a Scolder and I was like, I'm so sorry. But I'm so sorry to the actor playing that because I know that costume's hot. Scolders, also known as what I like to call the poop monsters. If you went through HHN 30, it's scary. They were poop monsters. They were in the sewers. They were covered in poop. And that was one of the people I played when I worked. But
in that zone too, I also love the little crate scare. How they pop out through the crate.
Oh yeah.
And then the one where they're like trying to break out of the cage. Like,
Oh,
I
the
think those
cage.
are cool little moments.
Yeah,
too.
it's cool that they got
Very
like
different.
the bar sounds, like because obviously the
They're
bars are
shake.
looser,
Mhm.
so they shake them around and it makes the metal noise, which is really cool. And like the dark fairy inside there that's in there sometimes is really cool looking.
Yeah.
Which she's from something, but I completely forget what she's from. She's from an older year age. But yeah, no, that sounds good. And then we get into my favorite scare zone of this year, which is Vamp 69. It's a vlogger's worst nightmare, I will tell you that, because you're gonna get copyright anytime you try to vlog inside of that scare zone, because Sweet Caroline's playing, Beatles are playing, something is playing that's gonna give you copyright. But like the vibes, the vibes, get it because it's a hippie. But like the vibes and like
the vibes are so good.
the scare actors in that zone, you can tell are having so much fun.
Yes.
And like, I do wish there was more going on the stage, I guess, of that. I don't know if there is now,
Yeah.
but
There's-
like,
I say, as
maybe
far
that'll
as I
change as the
remember,
event goes
there's
on.
An occasional kill.
yeah, there's
on
like
the stage.
one kill on the stage. I wish there was a little more going on the stage because it feels like the stage is kind of empty in that zone, but like everything else in the zone, like the merch booths or whatever they are,
Yeah.
is really cool. And then like they have people dancing and stuff on stages, like little tiny stages and stuff. I don't know, it's really cool. And then like the music's really good, obviously.
It is.
It's like
And
60s. So.
Like you said, the vibe is so good. Like, those scare actors are, like, so interactive. Like, specifically, I remember, like, someone running up to me and being like, is all this the drugs? Like, is this the drugs? And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That, like, it made my night. Like, I love the moments like that. That's, like, what HHN is to me.
Yeah. And then, I'm just done with the scare zones. I know I did not document this in our opening weekend video, and I got to make a video about it. But the tribute store is fantastic.
Yeah.
The tribute store is super cool this year. If you guys have not seen any of the tribute store stuff, there's a walkthrough, I believe, on Horror Nights' YouTube channel. I'd love if Earlo got a moment on the stage in Vamp. Me too.
Erlo deserves his moment.
So there's like, I know in one of the podcast episodes, they literally have like, they follow a vampire, right? Throughout this like backstory of Oddfellow that they've released. Which I'll get to the tribute story in a second. I know I just stopped talking about that. But on that podcast, there is like, I think it's the Oddfellow episode where you follow a vampire and she goes throughout into this era, I guess, the 69 era, the festival. And there's a whole like backstory that where Dr. Oddfellow or Erlo, whatever you say, is talking to like this head vampire saying we need to get blood and stuff. Why is that not happening on stage? Why is like he not saying that on stage? They could easily do that.
He's so
Just
should have
put
this
the-
moment.
Put that vocal. You recorded the vocal line for the podcast. Just go ahead and throw that in the zone. You have the voice actor on deck. You're adding a new thing inside of Jungle Doom with the voice actor of the Oddfellow. Just throw that on there and put him on the stage, like ramping up the vampires or something, and then they all like unleash and attack people or something.
I don't know. I feel like ever since Seek and Destroy, when there's a stage there, it's just always like a void to fill.
They could literally do it with Seek and Destroy though, because like for example, like with the it was like a cash change or something like that when they would do it, but it was like the whole like Seek and Destroy thing that the controller would say, where it was like now Seek and Destroy, and then they would all like rush.
Yeah.
Why are they not doing that with Vamp 69 with like Erlo or something doing that, being like let's feast or something, and then they like all go or something.
That's very true.
That would be cool. Horror Nights, if you're watching this, put me on your creative team because I'm great. Anyways, back to the tribute store. Tribute store is fantastic. Best part of the tribute store is my Mr. Man, Boris Schuster. I will say that right now. I'm heavily on Boris Schuster's curse word. I won't say that word, but I am right on it. Spin it around, doing a dance, spread eagle. I love Boris Schuster. I do.
Yeah, me too.
I hated when I worked at HHN back in HHN 30. I hated acting in the Case Files house. I worked in the Case Files house at some points. Hated my character in there, but like that was just like the costume was an issue for me. I love Legendary Truth and Boris Schuster so much because I love Bloody Mary so much. So like the whole like Legendary Truth, starting with that basically, is why I like Boris so much. And like I feel like I like when they incorporate him more into the event.
Yeah.
Because he's literally investigating the event.
Yeah. The fact that they've had the house, they've got him in the tribute store, I'm like just like on the edge of my seat, like give me more.
Yeah, but like every room in that tribute store is really good. Like the diner, the cemetery,
I loved the
Jack the
diner.
Ripper, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But Boris stood out for me, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
Like literally being like
The
a
fact that it's all
noir,
black and
like a
white.
noir kind of like black and white noir comic book. Cool. And the fact that you could buy a comic book in there, cool. I haven't yet. I don't know if they sold out yet, but I need to. But like, cool. That's all I gotta say. It's cool.
Oh my
And the
God.
fact that like it goes more in like the Boris story because it says the Schuster Bros, so it means Boris has a brother and stuff like that, which is, yeah. I hope they do something more with Boris. Make Boris an icon one year or something.
Would love that. Like a good guy icon year. That'd be so strange, but so good.
Now, as far as the food goes, we haven't tried much.
We have
We've
not,
tried.
because the lines have been ridiculous.
The lines
for
were
food.
ridiculous. We want to make a video on food at the event. Hopefully, we can make that happen. But what we have had is we've had the Last of Us ravioli, which is really good. And then what else do we have? The Bloody Campground poutine. Bloody Campground poutine is really good. You have nothing to say about that?
I was reading chat while you were talking, but yeah, the Bloody Campground poutine was so good. We usually share stuff at horror nights, like we'll get like one order of something and share it, but that was one of the things that we could not share.
But like we mainly ate at the resort, for being honest.
Yeah.
That food was really good.
That was really good food. But I'm pretty, like, literally we only tried the ravioli and the poutine.
Yeah, we need to go and try more. We want to make a video on that. I did drink a little bit. I drink Ghoul juice.
Yeah, we had some good
Haven't
juice.
tried any of the new drinks this year. I know there's like that orange death thing that everyone's getting right now, which I want to get because I want the can.
Yeah, it does. It
Specifically
sounds
for the
really good
can.
too. I heard someone say that it tastes like a high C, and that's enough
yeah,
for me.
I'll just get like 10 of those and get crunk.
Crunk.
Tucker said, "Did you see what I meant about a cliffhanger? When did you say something about a cliffhanger?
Did you say it in chat or?
About a
I
cliffhanger,
think-
kind of a teaser for more to come, hopefully."
I think he's referencing something in the tribute store at the end of the Boris Schuster like part of the room.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember what it was either, but yes, I do
But I
remember
feel
there
like
was
I
a
remember
cliffhanger.
that being mentioned.
I don't remember what it was now, but yeah, I remember there being a cliffhanger at the end of that.
Feel free to enlighten us.
But
Because really, honestly, our tribute store trip, like, we were looking around having good fun, good time, whatever. I don't know, not English. We were having fun in the tribute store, but it was, like, at the end of the night and we were tired, so I don't remember, like, really reading into anything while we were in there.
yeah. But what is it? It's 10 o'clock and we talked about the entire event. Wait, no, we didn't talk about the show. Nightmare Fuel Revenge Dream. We did get to watch that.
So good.
Really good, really good.
You don't get to talk during this because Nightmare Fuel's mine.
Go ahead.
I'm joking. No, fine, I'll talk about it. It was so good, so much more than I was expecting. Because, you know, the last 2 years have been very, very similar. Kind of the same storyline, just different dreamers. I, like, don't know if I should spoil. Like, I don't want to give a spoiler. But I mean, I guess we've been doing spoilers, so, you know, if you don't want the Nightmare Fuel show spoiled, then...
Oh, yeah, it ends with Cthulhu bursting out to get him. Yes, that's the thing.
Yeah, the to be continued moment.
Anyways, continue.
But it is such a different storyline. I was so excited to see the whole, like, the dreamers fighting back, and the ending, like, literally, he can attest, when, at the very end of the show, when she kills the Nightmare Queen, I had, like, an audible gasp. Like, I was like, and, like, reached out and grabbed him, because I was like, oh my god. But it's so good, like, just, I don't know.
Now, do you think Nightmare Fuel will return after this year? Do you think that's just the end?
I don't know, because listening to, I think you had left at this point, but listening to that video that they posted that was, like, behind the scenes with, like, the creators of the event,
Oh, yeah.
the guy talked about how originally, like, they weren't planning to do, like, really a storyline, and he was going to use this ending the first year,
Mm-hmm.
but then he was like, well, let me see what I can do, and he kept saying this is a trilogy. So with him saying this is a trilogy, I'm like, maybe it won't continue, but there's the other part of me that, like, really secretly hopes, like, it continues, and it's, like, still Nightmare Fuel, but, like, absolutely 100% different. Like, different costumes, different vibes, like, completely switch it up, but still be Nightmare Fuel, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
still, like, the same dancers, the same performers, still have fire, still have aerial, still have, like, the magic, but be different, because, like, in my mind, when she killed the Nightmare Queen, I assumed, I was like, oh, well, she's the new queen, like, we're gonna get a different show next year.
Maybe.
And it'll be her show.
Or it could be the end.
Yeah, but we're not gonna talk about that.
What do you think would replace it if it, like, stopped? Bill and Ted? Bill and Ted coming
No,
back?
I
Bill and Ted?
think, if
Question mark?
anything, they'll have really probably even possibly all the same people, just a different show. Like, maybe a different story.
Unless the contract's up. Unless they, like, had a contract with the Field Girls. And it's up.
That's true.
I
But
wouldn't know, though.
unless
I don't
they're,
know.
like, they might be redoing this contract every
I don't know
year.
if there's a contract.
Yeah. But Because to me it seems like every year, like maybe they would ask or whatever.
Nah, I have a feeling it's probably not over. I feel like they're gonna keep doing Nightmare
It's
Fuel
just been doing so good.
for a few more years, maybe. I don't think they'll do it like any further than 35.
Honestly, I can't really see it going on for that long because there's not much you can do without changing a lot about it. Like,
Like, I don't think this is gonna be the new Bill and Ted. Like, I don't
No.
think they're gonna do 27 years.
well, you
of
gotta
this.
think about, like, Academy Villains.
Yeah, Academy of Villains was 3 years. 2 years. 3 years. 2
3.
years. 2. I don't know.
I don't know.
No,
But,
2
like-
years. 2 years. Because Bill and Ted ended on 27.
You know what? I can get behind the Beetlejuice Graveyard.
Oh, you're gonna bring that back?
I can get behind that.
Bring that back? You know, them bringing back the Rocky Horror Picture Show
I was
tribute?
gonna say, can we bring back Rocky Horror? But, like, I love stuff like that. But the thing I like about Nightmare Fuel is that it's, like, it's its own thing. Like, I like that it's creating new characters and creating new stories.
You know what I want back?
No, Ted.
No. Yes, but no. That's not what I was talking about. Bring back the Jack Show, baby.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Bring back the Jack Show from HHN 25.
If they could give us another icon show.
What was that called? Marathon of Mayhem? No, that was 30. what was-
Carnage something.
Carnage? Carnage Returns. Haha. Bring back the Carnage Returns. Give me Jack again.
Yeah, I would be
No,
down.
do like literally do icon shows, man. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I do wish that I could experience like an icon show like that.
Dude, I will say I love the Nightmare feels really good. I love Bill and Ted. I've liked Academy of Villains when that happened. I think that's all the shows that we had back then. But I don't know, something about the Carnage Returns, bro. That show is like my favorite show I've gone to since I've been
I
at the
feel like it
event.
was just very interactive,
Yeah.
and that's always a good thing.
That gives me like old HHN vibes because it was my first year of HHN. So like, I would love to see that back. Some iteration of it. Obviously, it doesn't have to be the identical show because that wouldn't make sense. But like, if they did like some kind of icon show with like Fear or something, or the Lantern or something, I don't know. Be cool.
Yeah.
Do we think Oddfellow's gonna be in the Lantern now?
No.
No.
Well, because here's my thing.
Where's Oddfellow gonna go after
This
this
is
year?
what contradicts for me. Well, Oddfellow is like his own dude. He's just like, surprise y'all. Y'all don't even know about me, but I'm
Hey,
here.
no, I'm telling you right now, 35.
Oddfellow versus Fear.
That's my dream event. That's on my dream event. Is literally all it is.
Either Oddfellow versus Fear or Oddfellow versus Jack.
But yeah, 35. I'm telling you right now, 35 is Oddfellow versus Jack.
I would hope to God that'd be great.
It has to be, bro. Because literally, whenever you
Wow.
mention Jack to Oddfellow, bro, he says he's dead.
Yeah.
He doesn't know, bro. He doesn't know that Jack's alive. So, but what's that mean?
I agree. Oddfellow is too cool for the Lantern. You can't put him in there with.
Wait,
all
what
those
about Jack though?
weirdos.
Jack's cool. Why is he in the Lantern?
Because he's supposed
Why is
to.
Bloody Mary in the Lantern? She's too cool. Why is Chance in the Lantern? Now, Lady Luck can stay in the Lantern. And Storyteller can stay in the Lantern.
Well, because that's their story, bud. They got put in the Lantern.
I would like to see Boris having an icon year. I agree with that.
Boris versus Cthulhu.
It'd be interesting to have a good guy, I guess, essentially, as an icon.
I think it would be like, imagine them being like y'all don't even know what's going on here. Like, don't be here.
Yeah.
Or like, help me figure this out. Like, that'd be so fun.
But I'm telling you right now, 35. It would make sense because literally the way Oddfellow is acting right now, if you ask him about Jack, he thinks Jack's dead. He doesn't think Jack's here. So like that would make sense because then he would find out Jack's here, and then they would fight in 35.
Which, given that means that Oddfellow is not in the Lantern, because if he was in the Lantern, he would know Jack.
No, I said like after this year, is he gonna be put in the Lantern?
No.
Because for some reason all the icons go to the Lantern after they're here.
I feel like he wouldn't. I feel like they're very separate. Like, Jack and his homies are in the Lantern, but not Oddfellow.
That's fair. I hope he doesn't go in the Lantern because then even though Jack's there, and then we can't see that.
Maybe that'll be 35. Fear, Jack, and Oddfellow. Fear's like, Oddfellow,
We need
get in the
Fear
Lantern.
back. I feel like we rarely get Fear anymore.
I love
Dude hasn't showed
Fear.
up for like, well, he was in 30, but like he was one part of the house.
I feel like he was meant to be like an Easter egg in that house,
Yeah,
too.
so like we haven't seen this dude in like 13 years.
Imagine a Fear, Oddfellow, Jack here, and Fear is just like, Oddfellow, get in the Lantern. And he's like, okay, and then he's like, well, who the fuck? Why is he in here? I cussed, oh well. He's like, why the freak is he in here?
You're literally almost saying what my dream event was, which was where like my dream event of HHN. If you haven't watched my video about it, it's on the channel. But I have a whole dream event where it's like all the icons back, obviously, including Bloody Mary. But it's where Oddfellow discovers Jack is alive
Ooh.
inside of this lantern, and he
Yeah.
wants to kill him. And instead of going in the lantern to kill him, my dream I had where he stole Fear's lantern, and Fear tried to get it back, and it broke the lantern, and they all came out. And that's what my dream event was literally all of them out of the lantern, running their own houses, running their own scare zones.
If they don't make that 35...
That would be so cool, right?
Yeah, I think you should.
Because then I had, in my dream event, I had Jack versus Oddfellow in a house, and then I had a Bloody Mary house. Then I had like Lady Luck and Storyteller in a house because they suck, and so I put them both in the same house. And then, I had Chance in the Jack house too. And then I had, what else? I had Director, Usher, and Caretaker in a house called Documentary to Death, which was a great concept. Why am I not on a creative team? Documentary to Death, literally? Because the way my storyline for that house was, it was like Documentary to Death. It was like the caretaker hires the director to film him killing people at the mortuary, and then they put it on at the Universal Palace Theater.
Yeah. And
then director and caretaker don't shut up, so then Usher's trying to fight them, and then it's like a fight house between those three, which would be cool.
Yeah.
And then I had a scare zone, which was like called Lights, Camera, Action, Cut the Cameras was in there, and it was literally about how it was Eddie's scare zone, but now Cindy's old enough to want to be a Hollywood actress, and so she tries to go in there and with her dolls and stuff. Bro, I want to make a banger year, bro.
Anything to get Cindy and Bloody Mary back in the same
year.
that
Bloody Mary house, the Bloody Mary. It was like called it was Reflections of Fear, Broken Pieces was what I called it.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, why am I not uncreative right now?
I love it.
Oh man, no,
I'm telling you, just send him an email and link the video.
Yeah, can you actually do this for your year? Thanks, bye.
I think this would make a great.
And then my IPs were like Scream and like Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
And The Witcher, which I mean, not everyone might agree with that one, but like it was like those three. I don't know. But yeah, that was my dream event for HHN.
Yeah.
But I hope they do that for 35. That'd be dope. If they do that for 35, they better send me a paycheck. I'm gonna say them right now.
It's an anniversary year, so I'm hoping for something good.
I'm hoping something. If not, we'll probably get like Jack back again, which I'm always fine with. I don't hate getting Jack back. But
I don't hate getting Jack back, but at this point, if we get Jack back, like, give him something to do.
That's fair.
Because last time he was back, he was just like, I'm back.
Well, that's just Jack, bro.
Yeah,
that's his character.
But, like, he needs something to do. I feel like he's bored. He's coming back because he's bored. He wants something to do.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I just decided I guess I'll come visit you guys this year.
This is really what it was, bro. He literally was just running around in the park.
Absolutely, like, terrorizing everybody, and not even in the scary way, in the,
he
like,
just had a megaphone just yelling at people.
Like, specifically, I went with a friend that year, and she
If you were at HHN and you seen this random dude yelling at people with a megaphone on the street, you'd think that was a crackhead.
Yeah, but like, specifically, the friend that I went with that year was wearing, like, a light-up cowboy hat. He was like, I'm glad you wore that. And she was like, well, why? And he was like, so when I kill you, people don't trip on your dead body. I'm like, see, that is like,
well, that's why Jack's the best icon, bro. He's hilarious, dude. He's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I loved it so much.
Him and Chance together, bro, are like the funniest people.
They are.
Like, if you watch their live stream they did back in 30, bro, that stuff's hilarious. And if you like watch the Carnage show, obviously.
Yeah. Even better too, though.
Yeah, but yeah, I need someone back for 35. It needs to not be like, I hope they don't like just are like not do anything for 35.
They were like, y'all got someone for 32. What do you mean you want someone for 35?
But then again, we got someone for 20 and we got 25 too,
yeah.
which was Jack. So I'm like, it might be Jack again. But then 30 was Jack. So then hopefully maybe 35 would be something new. But
I think with this year, the amount of people, whenever that static video came out, that were getting upset that we thought it was going to be Jack again, might entice them to not have a solely Jack year again. Because so many people were so upset when everyone was
because everyone hates on Jack. I'm like, bro, you guys wouldn't have any icons if you didn't have Jack.
Yeah. No, it's like, I do not hate on Jack, but I do agree that at a certain point, like, I want something new. Like, give me him and someone else, but, like, maybe not.
Give him Jack and Chance. There you go.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. They're just, like, continuously using him, so I can understand the frustration and, like, I want something.
No, I would like to see Eddie, maybe.
Yeah.
Eddie and Cindy maybe doing, like, a team up here, because, like, make, like, the discarded icons into something, because obviously they didn't really get their icon. Walking Dead return.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it on the million spinoffs they have going off of Walking Dead right now. Did you all watch the Death Eaters? No. I did watch a video of it, though.
Yeah, we have sadly missed the
We've-
Death Leaders
and
and
Megan.
Megan.
And Megan. Haven't seen
Cannot
Megan
find
yet.
Megan.
We've seen everything else, though, I think.
Except for David S. Pumpkins.
Haven't seen David S. Pumpkins yet.
Because we were like, oh, he's over there right now, and then walked over there, and by the time
And then
we
he
made
was
it, he was gone.
But I've seen plenty of TikToks with him at this
Oh,
point.
yeah.
David S. Pumpkins, man.
We met the Purge girl, though.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Forgot her name.
And we did the Chucky experience, too, which was cool.
We did.
That was better than the house, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, that was really well done. Like, the Cabana Bay experience. That was really
so
cool.
fun.
I
I was a little underwhelmed by the bars at the other hotels. Like, the Cabana Bay Swizzle Lounge was cool, and then the, like, actual, like, Chucky experience was cool, but, like, the hotel bars, like, in my head, like, reading the things were, like, a themed bar. I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so decorated. And it's, like, a singular photo backdrop.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was different at other hotels, but...
I feel bad for the David S. Pumpkins actor. I feel like he's just having the time of his life, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Dude, all he has to do is go, I'm David S. Pumpkins, man. Any questions? That's all he has to do.
He has, like, 4
And then
lines
he does,
to write
like,
a full
the-
character from.
Which is funny, but he'll do the dance without any music.
Yeah. It's so funny because I do get the vibe, like, I'll catch these videos and I'm like, he looks like he's having so much fun. Like,
Bro, he does not break character, though. That's a really good actor.
yeah.
Like,
But
I'm
then the
not
other
gonna
part
lie.
of me is like, how do you stand out there and only have, like, 4 things that you can say and, like, have the time
And
of
then
your
you just
life?
shuffle around him and walk. He just shuffles. He's like,
And then the videos that I've seen of him, like, walking up to the bars, like, him in his, like, black cloak like this. And then he just, like...
I did hear him say something else, though. Did you see the video where someone asked where he was from? And he said something different?
No.
So I guess, like, when they redid David S. Pumpkins, is what I heard, is when they redid it, like, on SNL. I guess they did another version, which I haven't seen. But they ask where he's from, and he says Ibiza. He's like, Ibiza, man, I guess. And so someone asked him where he was from, and he's like, Ibiza, man! And they're like, hey!
I feel like he probably has something freedom of what he gets to say. Like, there's gotta be moments where he can say what he needs to say. But,
Nah, he looks like he has fun, though. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. I mean, I would have fun. You ain't gotta do very much besides make people laugh.
That's true.
He's like the comedic relief of the event.
Alright, so that is the entire event thus far in
Yes.
September. When we go back again and we keep going throughout the event, I'm sure things will change. But besides that, that is currently our thoughts on the current HHN 32 that is going on. Anything else you need to say?
Nope.
Alright, so we're going to probably head out for this week's live stream, but we're back online, we're back on the channel.
Yeah.
So expect more
Thank
content.
goodness.
We're gonna try to do more videos inside the event when we go. Just for opening week, one was crazy with the
Yeah.
rain, and I wanted to experience the event obviously too without the camera in front of my face, running into everyone all the time. So yeah, so I didn't do too much content, but as time goes on, as more time goes, I want more videos. But besides that, if you like HHN and you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you're always notified whenever we post. We also want to try to do more haunts if we can. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we want to try to do more haunts. Like, not just HHN, try to branch out and do more stuff. We'll see how that goes. That's not set in stone now. But if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Also, if you want to become a member of the channel to join the Haunted Homies, you can do so as well to receive exclusive content from the Horror Fiends. But besides that, I guess we'll end tonight's live stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and welcoming us back from a long hiatus. If you haven't gone to HHN yet, make sure you do. I know we crap on some of the houses, but it's better than having no HHN on. We would go through Chucky House a million times than have no HHN.
Yes.
So, besides that, we will see you in the fog, and we will see you in the morgue. Bye-bye.
Bye.